Hello. I thought I'd use this unique medium to explain better, rather than just show you or just tell you about Signworks and Design Studio and why I'm selling them. Signworks is a 23-year-old sign company that I started literally in my living room. We grew quite rapidly over the years, and each year we expanded to include new equipment, new designs, and a new catalog. What I am selling to you is not what you would consider an established business per se. You are not getting the client list. They will come with it, but there's no guarantees that they'll still buy. What you are getting is all the equipment, all the signs, all the artwork, and all the designs exclusively to you. The business will be set up for you, and the catalog. Now, some people would say, well, then I'm not really buying a business. You actually are, because what you're getting is something that I will train you on. Whether you're a screen printer or just a business person looking for a good deal, this might be for you. Now, Signworks and Design Studio were integrated to sell both wholesale and retail. So if you have a retail market already in place, Design Studio will probably integrate very well with that. Signworks is the manufacturer of these lovely signs that I'm showing you. Everything is set up and in place for you to continue. There are no set times. You don't have to work a 9 to 5, and anybody who has owned their own business will understand that a self-business such as this is not a 9 to 5. But you can choose your own hours of operation. Now, Signworks is very unique in that we were exclusive to the aluminum sign novelty market. Went to gift shows, went to trade shows. Then in 1995, I started Design Studio because Signworks was being inundated with people wanting to buy signs on an individual basis, and I didn't want to do that through the wholesale side. And Signworks, as well as Design Studio, was allowing me to get more customers. So if I had a customer in a certain area, someone bought a sign, but they lived on the other side of the country, and there wasn't a company that sold signs there, they could still get their signs, and the original company could get credit for it. Also, another thing that occurred is at retail shows, I would pick up wholesale customers who would then sell my signs, and I wouldn't have to go to that show anymore. Signworks was established in 1989, and as I said, Design Studio was established in 1995. At one time, Signworks was worth over $1 million, and that was based on the income over a period of time. But due to the economy and cutting back, it's worth probably base with equipment and whatnot, no customers again, about $300,000 if you bought all the equipment new. I'm not asking for that. This is a deal. You might ask why I'm selling out. Well, it's time to move on. After 20 some years of this, I'm a little tired. So I am taking all offers. It is the low six figures that I'm asking, not the $300,000 that if you bought this new you would have to pay. But it does include all the artwork, the copyright. I will sign a non-disclosure. I won't be competing with you. That will be in the sale paperwork. Now, SignWorks signs are exclusive to SignWorks. We do own the copyright for them. We work with wonderful artists to create many of the designs, many of which I did myself on a artboard, and learned little tricks over the years to do it, but simultaneously with the computer. We own our own catalog. It was 59 pages the last time, and I will teach anybody not only how to screen print, but how to make the catalog and manipulate the artwork. So if you have no experience with screen printing, that isn't an issue. We can make this work for you. You just have to have the capital to do it. I'm not going to give away the business, but I do have enough knowledge and enough equipment to set you up very well. I can also steer you to customers who are still waiting to buy signs. I can steer you to new potential customers and show you how to obtain them through trade shows, through catalogs, through who you would want to solicit. You don't have to be a salesperson. I was never a hard salesperson. I always thought that if somebody didn't want my signs, I wasn't going to force them on them, because then they wouldn't sell them. But it is a very recognizable product. At one time, SignWorks was the second largest in the country that did this. Competitors, and there are other people doing that, but most of them are either doing it cartoony or they're doing it on plastic. I specialized in aluminum for a very good reason. I have a great quality product. I have about $45,000 in products still available, and that's at wholesale. I have all of the artwork. That's about $45,000, as well as shelves, etc., that you'll see here. Some of the major operating expenses, you might ask, are aluminum, obviously. We bought that by the tonnage or the pallet load. I've got some excellent sources for that make great quality product. That may change over the years, like any other business. Paint, of course. We used an enamel-based paint because that stood up through the test of time. Using certain other kinds of paint wouldn't last right on the aluminum, which has an enamel overlay anyways for the different colors of aluminum that we used. Another thing is heat shrinking. We specialized in that. And fortunately, we had a great quality product already, but the heat shrink protected it, allowed us to do inserts in the back of the back of the signs, and it's just phenomenal how it all came together over all those years as we lived and learned. But I'm willing to teach you that. Soy is something we went with to clean the screens. It's awesome because you can actually literally drink this, not that I would recommend it, but you could pour it down the drain. It's biodegradable, it's environmentally safe, and in the old days we actually used a chemical such as paint thinner to clean the screens. That's not a good idea because you don't want to ruin your respiration system. I actually burnt the lining of my nose from using paint thinner. I was using a gallon a day at that time. That was when it was $2 a gallon. Now it's $10 a gallon, so you don't want to use that. And soy is a lot less expensive and friendly for you and the environment. None of the products we use are a concern, in quantity to dispose of. Even the paint, once it's dry, you can throw out the paint cans without incurring a an expense of having to hire a company to dispose of your chemicals, so as to speak. Everything dissipates in the air. The enamel itself, the paint, is air dry, so the product dries overnight, essentially, depending on, of course, environmental factors such as heat or cold in your shop. Now, you might ask, what do I need to set up this business? I would suggest about 1,000 square foot warehouse. As you see in the pictures, I had about a 1,500 square foot warehouse, and if you intend to expand and can afford it, start with a 1,500 square foot warehouse or 2,000, because I've got some great ideas for you, but again, that requires additional capital. I won't be continuing to do this because of my health. It's time to pass the torch. It's time to let someone else do what had been my dream for many years. I raised my kids doing this. My kids worked for me. It was an excellent education for them. They're both in college, they're both doing well, and it's time for me to move on. I thank you for listening. I'm sure there's other questions that you may have, and I would appreciate you emailing me. I'll be happy to answer those. Give me a call and give me a bid. Thank you.